first time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you could never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for upNXT, postwrestling.com, Apple Podcast, Spotify, whatever podcast app you're using, and of course,
twitch.tv/upNXTpodcast. Hello, Twitch Room.
Hello, Twitch Room. Yes, we are your NXT friends.
Friends.
Yeah, that's what we are. And we'll always be your NXT friends.
Yeah, what's wrong?
Out of all the times I've watched NXT,
yeah,
I feel like tonight was the night that broke me.
Yeah? Oh dear. Oh dear.
It was different.
This show is brought to you by Who the Fuck Is That Guy?
Who the fuck? Yeah, how many Snoop Dogg? Who?
Like every scene
who are these
in this
people?
show, we were just...
What show is this? Is this
Cino, who is this?
Yeah, we'll get into it, but right off the bat, definitely NXT 2.0. Take a shot every time they say 2.0. You would be hammered by midway.
Every other second.
Yeah, we talked about last week. There was a wedding. We still had some names that we kind of knew, but this feels like a brand new reboot.
Yeah.
Big Brother, Saved by the Bell reboot kind of weird thing where it's the
new
whole
season,
the new
class,
characters. NXT First Class, not First Class, but like yeah, NXT Last Class. Definitely a way different show this year. This week, sorry, not this year. It's going to look different this year. So it's definitely something that we'll have to talk about because this episode felt so Twilight Zone.
Very different, a lot more so than last week, which obviously last week we had some new faces, but yeah, this definitely felt like the kind of hard reset this week.
This felt like it. This felt like your new season of talent, of new people, of fresh faces, and kind of out with the old, really, because there wasn't much familiar. There weren't many familiar faces,
no, not
really. So. Yeah, definitely an interesting episode. There's a lot going on. Of course, follow us at upNXT Podcast on Twitter, Instagram for all the stuff. Because we do BD Elite, which is AEW Dynamite. That's where we chat about that every week. We go live on Twitch. Tomorrow, we won't be going live on Twitch.
No. We just keep an eye on our socials, I'd say, for AEW, for BD Elite, because we're actually going to be at Dynamite and Rampage tomorrow.
Arthur Ashe, Grand Slam.
So the show is going to drop at some point, at some time. But
we're bringing our gear.
We're not committing to doing a show immediately after Dynamite tomorrow.
So we'll probably do a show sometime during the week, but that'll drop sometime. Wait, you're saying you want to go live with it still? No, just upload it.
We could go. I mean, why not?
If your hotel got Wi-Fi or
see how the Wi-Fi is. But
true, all right.
But we will be obviously talking about BD Elite. About AEW and
Grand Slam.
Our experience of going to the event.
Yeah,
and Arthur Ashe.
So we're super excited.
We'll be there this time tomorrow.
Yes.
We'll not be in the BDE. We'll be in Arthur Ashe Stadium.
We both tested negative for COVID.
Yeah, we're good.
Going on a plane tomorrow.
Are you packed?
Yeah.
Are you?
No, instead I watched Brick Breaker and paint.
I'm not packed at all.
No.
We normally, by the time we normally finish doing this show, it's about 1, and I know I've got to get up at about 5.
Yeah, I'm probably going to sleep for like an hour.
Yeah.
So a little nap.
So
power nap.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm super excited to do this show because with just going to it because it looks like they've created this spectacle almost with Arthur Ashe, and of course Danielson versus Kenny sounds amazing. So we'll be talking all about that.
Stacked card, both shows looks huge.
Yeah, it looks nuts.
Can't wait.
And we'll get to hang out with some people in New York, so that's super fun. Follow the socials as well.
We're actually going to plan, I think we've been looking up where to go before the show. And if you are in the area and going to Arthur Ashe tomorrow, I think we're going to Kelly's Pub.
Yeah.
About 4 p.m.
We haven't asked them or anything. We're just going to show up. There's only a few of you that reached out, so we'll have a little bit of a party there. But again, at upNXT Podcast and follow us and stuff, or ask. A few people have hit me up, so feel free to hit us up, and we'll let you know when we're there.
Absolutely.
So we'll be doing that, and then we'll be doing BD Elite. But we do a Patreon, so that means we're away for a week. We decided to kind of bank some shows. We just did last week. What did we do last week? We did a Was Next.
We did Was Next, yeah, May 22nd, 2013 of NXT.
Yeah, we did a Brainbusters, Arn and Tully, best match ever.
That was a really fun one. I'm not familiar, obviously I'm familiar with Arn and Tully being talked about, and obviously them in AEW, but I haven't ever really gone back and watched much of their stuff, so it was really fun actually going back watching that.
Yeah, especially the Rockers feud.
Oh yeah,
Arn and Tully and the Rockers is basically FTR Young Bucks.
Yeah,
so we cover a few of those matches and talk about some history there. And then we have Up Yours World Champ patron Matty B. He's come back. He's selected Heavyweights, this 1995 Disney movie. It's on Disney Plus. Ben Stiller. It's amazing. You finally watched it.
Yep.
We talked all about it. That's super fun. In our movie book club kind of thing with Up Yours. Super fun. That's going to be out this week. But this weekend, apparently, I only believed you. You told me Extreme Rules is next weekend.
I believe it's this weekend.
This weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll still be in New York?
Yeah.
We're letting the inmates run the asylum this week because we can't have a main roster WWE pay-per-view without an upNXT watch-along.
Exactly.
So there will be a watch-along this Sunday, but neither you or I will be taking part of it.
But then it made me sad, you know? It made me sad because I couldn't be talking about things that were extreme.
I know.
So what are we going to talk about instead?
We're going to talk about ECW One Night Stand 2006, just to get our fix of extreme this year.
Yeah, it's all because I did some digging, and my mom's like, hey, I have some of your shit in my basement. And she didn't say it like that. She's a sweetheart. But she's like, hey, do you want to look at some of this stuff? So she had One Night Stand 2006 poster. I don't know what. I remember buying it online. So it's up here in our new apartment, and it looks really cool. And we're like, hey, Extreme Rules is coming up. Why don't we watch something that's extreme? So reviews from the 6, ECW, One Night Stand, 2006, RVD, John Cena, all that jazz. And we recorded that today, so that's going to come out this week.
Yeah, fun show. First time I'd seen it. So
you've never watched this event, guys.
No.
How crazy is that?
Really enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
And I think we had a pretty good discussion about it.
Yeah. But if you want to hang around this Sunday for Extreme Rules, hang out with the crew. I believe, Dickie Bird's going to be running the joint. There's going to be, who's showing up for this?
We've got Eric Marcotte.
Main event, Eric Marcotte.
John Cena.
Damn.
And we have the Ginger Ninja himself, Dan Reed, on the watch along for Extreme Rules.
Should I go to John's house and do it with him?
I mean, he will be there. You will still be in New York.
So hang around for that on the Twitch and all that stuff. And shout out to Dickie Bird and all those guys, and hang around for that as well. But if you want to hear the Extreme Rules 2006, you want to hear the best match ever, all that stuff, that is on the Patreon. Patreon.com/upnext. Only $5. You get access to so many shows. We might even record a behind the BDE while in New York.
Yes.
This could be game changing.
Absolutely.
So, so many shows. It's only $5 for North American tier to get access to all the best match ever, retro NXT reviews, all that stuff. Super cool. Go check us out if you haven't already.
But yeah, you say so many shows. There have been so many shows in this last week since we've recorded. I feel there's so much we need to talk about.
Yeah,
We've got the G1 starting. We've got Dark Side of the Ring.
What's that? Never heard about that.
Yeah, where should we start?
Yeah, there's obviously, I'm torn as a wrestling fan. If you guys listen, Ric Flair, one of my favorites, easily. We've done many shows covering. We literally just talked about him with the Arn and Tully on that show. But we love Ric Flair here, and big fan. But this Dark Side of the Ring episode got me feeling some type of way, definitely, as of many wrestling fans, and rightfully so. So, this is another... We're wrestling fans, not even just wrestling fans, but as culture and people right now in any sort of entertainment, we're, used to this.
Yeah.
We canceled Hulk Hogan. It was done. It's been done. We can do it to other people. And, we've done it to Ric Flair. But rightfully so.
No, I think... I don't like that at all. We've done that to Ric Flair.
No, sorry.
There are consequences.
No,
you
you're
don't get
absolutely...
women to touch a dick when they don't want to.
Yeah, sorry.
We haven't done anything to Ric Flair.
I'm not saying it like that, but I'm saying it like that's easy for us to do clearly as a culture, because if we don't like something that you have done, we make it clear, and we won't like support you, and yeah, that puts us in another situation as fans where, well, shit, for the last 30 years I've watched this guy and I've been a huge fan, and now I go, you seem like a piece of shit now, and now we got to do that thing where we separate art from the artist, because this person, wrestling is such a strange blur of reality and these real life people, and then the fake aspect of it, right? And of course Ric Flair has been this character, but dude, I swear, like 3-4 years ago or something like that, he did an angle where he grabbed Becky Lynch and kissed her in the middle of the match, and now you're telling me that there's like, he does this in real life. That makes me feel gross as a fan. It's like when I listen to a bunch of music, my favorite band, Crystal Castles, all their lyrics were super fucked up, and then it comes out that there's a bunch of upsetting stuff that has happened through the years, and the band is disbanded, and but all the lyrics were about that stuff. I'm like, well, that makes me feel weird, because here I am watching this as a form of entertainment. It's very strange. Ric Flair is someone who's like been a hero to a lot of people, and after watching that episode of Dark Side of the Ring, it was the flight attendant that I like felt what she was saying. I just kept thinking of someone that I know in my life that would be telling me the story, and how upsetting it made me feel. And I know there's stuff out there, people are saying she's got criminal records and all this stuff. It doesn't take away from the fact that
it doesn't
negate
other stuff from happening.
So this whole thing just has me as a wrestling fan, and as someone who like has been a fan of Ric Flair, it is upsetting and it hurts, but I have no problem being like, yo, we need to stop this boys club stupidity shit.
Absolutely.
Like I cannot understand how this stuff still continues to go on. Of course, like wrestling fans, wrestling is totally that way for so long. We all grow up being wrestling fans. We hear stories of all sorts of stuff. Randy Orton taking shits in people's bags, and we laugh. Well, that was someone's bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think even as fans, you do it where you hear these stories. Like every time I've heard stories about the plane ride from hell, it's been funny. You know, they've even done stories on the network of like Rick like exposing himself, but it's for the boys and it's a joke and all that. And you kind of, and it wasn't until I heard from, sorry, what was her name? Heidi, the flight attendant, where it kind of gave it more of a reality. And then I'm thinking, so much of this stuff is fucking weird. Like, think about like your, I don't know, 50-year-old boss at work. If he was doing that on a plane, you'd think this guy's fucking weird. And it's just because we think of them as these wrestlers and this was the boys club and all that. But I completely believe the flight attendant. And also just I know Flair's come out denying it. Heidi Doyle, thank you, Jake, in the chat room.
Yes.
I know Flair's since come out denying it. You think you were drinking hard liquor for at least 7 hours before the flight even took off. Sorry, I'm inclined to believe the person who's stone cold sober doing their job. I don't know. It's very odd. Like, obviously, it's a huge name, and things like the Woo has already been taken out of the WWE.
I noticed it watching NXT tonight. Yeah.
But you wonder what kind of consequences there are going to be. I find it very interesting that Flair very recently left WWE. Him talking on the Renee podcast, he was saying about shit's gonna come up essentially. So
he knew.
He knew, and he was prepared for this. But like, it feels like Tommy Dreamer's got the worst end of the stick, and I don't think what Dreamer said was right at all.
Right.
But I also think people can misspeak and not. It sounded like to me he was being a mark for Ric Flair. You know, he was just and standing up, and I'm not condoning that at all. But so far, it's like, well, Tommy Dreamer's pretty much lost his job, and what is happening to Ric Flair?
Yeah,
You
I
know?
mean, yeah. I mean, if this was WWE,
He lost a woo on WWE.
If he was in WWE, he'd be released
Yeah.
100%, or put on like something would happen definitely. If like a week ago before this happened, I was like, oh, he's gonna come out at Arthur Ashe, or you're gonna see Rick on AEW.
Yeah.
Not at all now. Not at all.
anymore.
They would not touch him, and rightfully so.
And just all of it, like you just feel it again. It's like the whole speaking out thing. You just feel dirty as a wrestling fan.
That's what I mean.
And
it makes me
even,
uncomfortable. Rightfully so, though. Like that's what I'm saying.
And
like,
even Jim Ross, like I found this stuff with Jim Ross fascinating, because he's kind of speaking from the office point of view of WWE, and he paints himself as the gun for hire almost, like he just does what he's told to do. But the whole stuff with why did Ric Flair get away with this?
Yeah.
And he seemed a bit dumbfounded by the question as well, and for him to admit, like, he was a made man, he had a past.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But
you know what? As a fan of just not wrestling entertainment, Ric Flair was such a big name in wrestling.
Yeah.
He's like the godfather of wrestling, really. Like he's the GOAT to a lot of people, and he's from a different era. And again, this like times have definitely changed for the better. But all these actors that we like know and grow up have crazy history of worse things, not as bad things and worse things, and it definitely takes like this era we're in now, where people now can come out and like say things. I'm wondering why the plane ride from hell was always like this, almost like a joke of a story. We didn't know the full thing. We knew Brock Lesnar and Mr. Perfect were fighting a little bit. We knew
Michael Hayes had his hair cut off.
Yeah,
and
like
stuff like that.
You're right. Like it's like, okay, cool, but what actually happened? And then it's also the fact where, well, now there was something about being paid off. I know there was money to like.
Well, there were
hush money.
NDAs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she, Heidi Doyle, had a settlement. So I assume she's breaking that by speaking this. But as she says on the thing, it's like she didn't feel it was right being paid off.
Right. But she got paid off.
But she got paid off.
Okay. Right. Yeah. No. It's as a wrestling fan and just anyone in entertainment and stuff like that, but more specifically wrestling, as fans, we all go, well, if that's about the airplane one, what's the truth about that one? And
the Saudi airplane
that one, and that one, and that one.
Yeah.
Sorry, like a lot of people this week okay, sorry, I got to get rid of my robe, Ric Flair robe, or whatever, but soon it's going to be your Stone Cold tees. Soon it's going to be your HBK tees. Like, they're going to dig and find these people who make this show are going to dig and find things that we don't want to know, but we probably should know. I don't know. What
I found fascinating is when you're watching it and you go, the only likable person here is just Incredible.
Shout out Just Incredible.
Shout out Just Incredible.
Yeah. It's tough being a wrestling fan when all our heroes are just, carnies and sickos and
now they just like video games and stuff.
What happened to the guns and the knives?
Did you see the Rene Dupree
Dupree
interview? Yeah, he came out about people like he was bullied back then, and like Undertaker just allowed it and found it was on his
better
orders.
Cancel his Netflix special.
Yeah,
like that. Like
he said they took his I think it was his flag or like a national jersey or something,
what?
and like shat on it and
jeez,
like did all that.
See what I mean? Like we're in an era
just hazing.
Fucking locker room talk.
But can you imagine at work, like if I just shat in a co-worker's bag or something?
That's what I mean.
Just
like
for the lols. Like it's so weird.
We're in this like accountability thing era where it's like if you do something, it'll get you're gonna pay for it. Like you will not be able to just go and work like. There's a recent wrestler, Travis Banks, he wrestled on Bandito's show. Well, the internet made sure that wasn't cool. Guess what? He ain't being booked again.
Yeah.
That's just like, again, the cancel culture. Of course, people can change. Of course, there needs to be people held accountable for the bad and terrible things that they do. But there is definitely like, okay, did Undertaker shit in someone's bag? Did he kill someone? Did he like... do some terrible shit, like, you know what I mean? Or did he shit in someone's bag?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, where do we draw the line? As like fans, there's probably tons of people who are like, it's Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you a lot of this, like the Rene Dupree, like the bullying culture back there. We recently did a review of the film Whiplash, and kind of go into this. It's like, where does, like, some people see bullying as, in wrestling, it's just a way of like breaking into the business. You see it at universities, like with freshers and fraternities and stuff, getting them to do what their pledges and doing like all sorts of stupid shit, and which could be seen as bullying, but it's just ribbing or breaking them in. It's
Sino in the chat's reminding me that Undertaker did kill someone. Kayfabe was. Many people. Probably. Yeah. Muhammad Hassan, Paul Bearer, his parents, a few people. A few people. Kayfabe though. Yeah. That's the thing. Wrestling is so like, the best gimmicks in wrestling is when it's someone's like character, their characteristics themselves, like turned up to 10. Yeah, well, what if it's not a good person and they're turned up to a 10? And it's such an awkward thing. I am a huge Ric Flair fan, and I watched that cartoon when they aired it years ago. I always thought the plane ride from hell, it's Ric Flair doing the helicopter. Come on, we've all done the helicopter. Come on, but unfortunately, we can no longer do the woo.
Yes,
we gotta.
No, it's Sting's woo.
Sting's woo. His is not as good. I'm sorry.
Woo! It's like higher, isn't it?
Yeah, high pitch. I can't do that one though. I go work on it.
We're seeing Sting. You got to work on it. We're seeing Sting wrestle tomorrow.
Sting, yeah.
Let's lighten the mood. We're gonna see Sting wrestle tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm hurt as a wrestling fan, as we all. But you know what? Like that's what it is. I never knew that was a story. I always thought, he likes to walk. Sorry, maybe that's on me. Sorry, a guy gets lit and walks around in his robe. Maybe I do that when you're not home, but that's in my own home.
But also to do it to like pop your mates, you know, completely different. Yeah. Doing it to someone who you don't know, who's working.
100%. I would. Yeah, exactly.
That's terrifying.
Yeah,
and especially there's something about it being like in the air. You know, there's no escape from any of this.
You can't leave.
You can't leave.
You can't go into another room. I mean, you're trapped in the plane.
Brock Lesnar fighting by the door.
That's terrifying too. The whole thing seems terrible. Yeah. Dark Side of the Ring just showing you other things. Like, really, what I thought was going to be the most boring, tame episode comes out to be the most... Well, we all
thought we'd heard everything.
Yeah, that's what times. I mean. Yeah. It's like, oh wait, you're telling me this happened? That's not as funny, you know? Yeah. That's not fun. That sucks, actually. That's fuck. Yeah. I totally felt I felt emotions watching. Was it Heidi
Doyle?
Yeah, Heidi Doyle telling her story definitely made me feel some things, and as much as I am a Ric Flair fan, like I definitely have to be like, bro, you fucked up. If that's something you were doing regularly, which you know probably is, that's not cool, and you should be held accountable for it. But you're old. You've lived such reincarnations and kept coming back. You've retired. Like you got the biggest send off, and you never paid. You came back to TNA to get your ass out in front of everyone again. So there you go. I don't know. Yeah, it hurts as a wrestling fan, and I hope what we and you know, usually me and you are like such a lighthearted show, and when this shit happens, it's like, well, how do we not talk about this, because it's affects everything.
For sure, yeah.
But you know, don't take. We're definitely. I mean,
you could do a whole episode on this whole thing.
Yeah.
But there's lighter sides of wrestling as well.
Well, you know what, wrestling.
We had Ishii Shingo.
Yeah, Ishii Shingo is one of the greatest things.
If any of these lads misbehave, I'd be devastated.
If you tell me, this is not trying to be funny, but if you tell me some bad shit on Ishii,
I know
I'm done wrestling.
Done with wrestling.
I'm not watching it because I'm. No way. Like, all my heroes can't be assholes. But unfortunately, all your heroes are assholes in this world.
Hopefully not Ishii. Yeah, what a match.
Yeah.
You've seen it, yeah?
Yeah, so New Japan's just been on the back burner, cruise control for the past year and a half. Everyone's getting sick and all this stuff to keep coming back. They don't know what's going on. And then they do the G1 and everyone's like, they're putting on some heat. Yeah. Ishii Shingo was amazing.
Shingo is one of my matches of the year. So far.
That could be this is easily the shoehorn of hard pick.
This last month, we've just had some incredible matches.
Yeah.
Across with like the Walter Dragunov, the like Lucha Young Bucks.
Yeah.
We've had already in the first 2 nights of the G1, Shingo Ishii, which was 5-star for me.
Yeah.
And Tana Okada Part 37, which was
something like that,
which was awesome.
Still good.
Well. Did you see it?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Fantastic.
They still
get you.
I don't understand.
I loved the whole teasing of the like time limit draw. Was it 11 seconds before the end or something? Yeah. It was great. And then Dynamite tomorrow with Brian Kenny, which should be amazing.
Yeah, a bunch of the matches this week should be amazing.
But, yeah, Ishii and Shingo just absolutely delivering.
That was one of my favorite. I want to watch it again. I would have put it on later because it's just like, yeah. I was working in overnight and then I saw that the G1 was happening. So I'm like, all right, when I come home, it will like still be going, but I can like watch it and catch up and stuff. And I did that. And I watched that match, and I was like, you were asleep because I was like early in the morning. I was trying not to scream while watching it. Like, what?
Yeah.
Holy, yeah. Shingo needs to fight Bryan Danielson.
Yes.
Please.
This is my...
Dragon versus Dragon.
If New Japan needs a shot in the arm, absolutely. The G1's the time to do it. Have Shingo win the G1, so he gets to pick his opponent at Wrestle Kingdom. And he picks the American Dragon. Fuck it.
That's insane. And
that's how you get me back.
Wow. That's how you get back to New Japan?
Yeah.
Shingo's like first champ in a while to... Someone's done it before, surely.
Yeah, it's happened before.
Yeah. So, all right. There you go. So, and then that just keeps the Coda Kenny match for another year, obviously, when the crowds are back.
Yeah, Coda needs to fully recover. He just lost to Yujiro. He's not facing Kenny anytime soon.
Damn, yeah. Well... I actually really dug Shingo Ishii. It instantly went, okay, well, what? That's probably like
what's stopping that?
Yeah, what the fuck are you gonna else do in this tournament? You, sorry, but blew your load way too early. G1, your climax.
I will say though that match made me go, okay, I could get on board the G1 this year because I was so not interested in it, and then I've watched both nights so far, so
yeah. Well, there you go. Wrestling can be good. Too, right?
Yeah,
there can
absolutely.
be good stuff in wrestling until we watch Dark Side this week, and then we all go, oh man, more things.
Yeah, what is it this week?
I think it's Canyon.
Oh boy,
who better?
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's gonna be a hard one.
Yeah, I do love the show though, but
it's great.
It's dark. It's making me feel icky as a wrestling fan. There's all the other dark sides. Dark Side of the 90s, 90210 and stuff like that.
Dark Side of Football, I think, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. And I also I went to the movie theaters.
Okay.
And I saw Shang Chi.
How was it?
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I've said on this show I'm not into the superhero stuff as much anymore. So I haven't watched like Loki. I'm kind of like behind. I haven't watched. I tried watching Winter Soldier and I was like, okay, but I just didn't get into it. So I may have like missed some things, but genuinely thought it was a solid movie. Like
I've heard good things.
It didn't feel so much like a superhero movie. It felt just more like a movie, like a story and everything. And I liked the action sequences and stuff. So I thought it was pretty cool. So. But I'm just more excited for Spider-Man.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's
I want to go and see it once we're back. I do want to see Shang Chi, and then there's a lot coming out. We've got the new Bond finally.
Wow.
We've got Halloween coming out.
Yeah, Halloween Kills.
Lot to get excited about.
Yeah, is that when's Spider-Man though? December. Damn, that's not that bad.
No, it's pretty soon.
Damn. Well, that means our Batman reviews have got to come back.
Yes.
When's the next one?
Probably we'll do spooky stuff. Maybe November we'll start with Batman v Superman. I think.
Oh yeah, because we're setting up for an October schedule.
Yes.
For Halloween stuff. So I mean, there's a lot going on, and we'll do. Frank's asking when the Loch Ness review is coming out, but that's
November for St. Andrew's Day.
Yeah, for all you Scots out there. St. Andrew's Day, we felt bad that we celebrated St. Patrick's Day by doing a movie review of Leprechaun. So we thought, how do we celebrate our Scotland yard?
With a Ted Danson movie.
Called Loch Ness, which we found. So come November, you wait.
I can't wait.
It's my WrestleMania.
This is the most anticipated review. This is like Rock Cena booking a year ahead.
Yeah, so if you're not caught up, don't watch it yet. We might do a watch-along down the line. So let's talk about the show from today. NXT 2.0 from September 21st, 2021. And well, we start off with a recap of last week's show with all the stuff that happened, with all these fancy colors. This is an art attack, and that's an art attack. But we go to our new champion, Tommaso Ciampa, who comes out with the title. But he gets to the ring, and there's just a bunch of dudes hanging out. The first who.
First who of the night.
So just a bunch of jobbers in the ring.
Bunch of lads.
A bunch of guys in the ring. Sorry, guys, but like, what? Okay, like, you won the title. I don't know who these guys are. Why are they? All right. He cuts a promo here talking about how he's reunited with Goldie and how it's been over 908 days. Now he's reunited. Feels so good. And it's NXT 2.0. That's the second time they've said it in about a minute.
Yeah.
He then says Ciampa will always be Mr. NXT. And he gives a shout out to Aunt Betty, Beth Phoenix, Mr. Wade, Big Vic. And he says that he wants to tell the world that I hope you understand and feel the power of NXT, and I thank you because we are, and he lifts the mic as the crowd says, NXT.
Yeah, I liked he spoke to the title at one point.
Goldie.
He put his ear to Goldie and went, I missed you too. But Ciampa's a great speaker. Just a bit weird with these random lads in the ring.
So apparently these are all Evolve guys. He was helping with them and stuff like that. It would have helped if they said that.
Yeah, a lot of this is just we're kind of jumping in midway to these characters.
Yeah.
There's not really an introduction per se. We'll have a segment and you've got to try and kind of figure out who this guy is.
Yeah, you ever date a girl or whatever, and you're at her house and she's like, "Oh, I'm watching this show. Have you ever watched it?" And you're like, "Oh no, I've never watched it. You want to watch it with me?" Sure. All right. Yeah. Cool. I'm on episode 3 of season 3. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, who's this guy? Well, he's from season 1, and he's great. But you see, she's from season 3. She's new here. Whoa. Okay. It's trying to catch up of all these things, but I've been watching since back then.
Yeah,
and I still don't know who these people
are. It's talking of a season 3. This is Paolo and Nikki in Lost.
I don't know.
In season 3 in Lost, they just introduced 2 characters who are on the same flight. Just the camera's never picked up on them, and then they do an episode where it's planting them in all these old scenes.
Great.
This is the new NXT cast.
Wow.
They're all Paolo and Nikki.
Here you go. Here are these new people.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not disrespecting the new crop of talent, because of course it's great that we're moving forward, but really minimal effort of telling me there's a lot going on, and you're expecting me to just what?
Yeah.
It's a weird way. So Ciampa's with his crew, and he's interrupted now by Cameron Grimes, who comes out. He cuts a promo saying that the NXT title would be that rocket that would take him to the moon. LA Knight comes out. He cuts a promo saying that he deserves a title opportunity when I think Odyssey Jones tells him, "Yo, you lost twice last week."
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Yeah, rightfully so. Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland come out. Pete calls a bunch of these guys these geezers, and then it becomes an all-out brawl. I thought geezers meant old people.
I've had a bunch of Canadians say that to me.
Okay.
Be like, some British guy said geezer, but I thought geezer was old people.
Yeah.
We just mean just people.
Guy?
Just
These
some
geezers.
guy. This geezer. And
These
then if it's an old person, it'll be an old geezer.
Yeah, it doesn't sound it sounds dumb when you just say geezer. It sounds better when you say these old geezers.
These old geezers.
So maybe that's why we always think it means old people, because they're literally saying these old geezers.
Yeah.
So Pete calls them a bunch of old geezers, but he doesn't say old.
No, he just calls them geezers.
So you could say you young.
You're a geezer.
I'm a geezer?
Yeah,
You're a geezer?
I'm a geezer.
We're all geezer.
We're all geezer. We're NXT geezers.
I'm a dude. He's a dude. Well, he calls them geezers, which pisses off Ciampa, because he loves his British slang, I think, and he takes offense to this. And it's a brawl. Everyone's beating each other up. Some people don't know what they're doing. It's okay. And they're being pulled apart. As then it ends the segment, kind of, and then it goes backstage to then some sort of other brawl.
Yeah, Vic's like, "Oh, we got to go backstage. Something's going on there."
Yeah. And there's who's here? There's Elektra Lopez.
Elektra Lopez,
B-Fab.
Kaylee Ray. B-Fab,
Amari Miller.
Amari Miller, that's right.
So everyone's fighting, and they're like, oh, there's going to be some matches later tonight, but these gals are fighting. And then it goes back to the ring, and there's still people here.
Brawling in the ring.
Bron Breakker is in the ring. Yep, that's still his name. He grabs a microphone, and wow, he looks like his dad, Rick Steiner, but does he sound like his uncle, Scott Steiner, as he says, you two bitches, referring to Ridge Holland and Pete Dunne, why don't you have a match with me and Ciampa tonight? So, Breakker, what's
Bron
Breakker.
Bron Breakker.
Bron Breakker. And man, okay, he's gonna be in a match tonight with Ciampa against Pete and Ridge, main event.
Yeah, I will say of the new people they've focused in the last 2 weeks, Bron Breakker does stand out. He does seem like someone who's maybe been impressing in promo class. I think he sounds good. I like his kind of like Steiner throwback gear. But it was very hectic, this opening. I hated the just cutting backstage to other people fighting. It's just throwing so much at you at once.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very odd. It's very jarring.
Sorry, I'm not nitpicking, but like they cut to the ring and it's a bunch of guys who we kind of don't know, like we're not super familiar with, and they're all like trying to call spots to figure out who's throwing who and which thing. It's like, okay, well, like, do they know this is like TV?
Yeah.
I asked myself that a few times watching this show, and I'm totally supportive of like seeing new people and seeing people evolve and grow, but like
it's just very jarring, and I would say maybe NXT as a developmental brand over the last few years has kind of lost sight of that, and they've just been trying to be their own show. When what is the function of NXT? Is it its own show, or are you trying to do developmental? And they kind of did get away from that. It became the super indie thing, and they want to go back and having a developmental brand where people can learn TV and that sort of thing, and that's fine. But I think it's such a departure from what we've been used to, and it's throwing so much new stuff at us rather than having your kind of regular show with your regular cast and maybe having 2 new people that you really focus on. But this is, in the first segment, we've got like 10 new people here who were like, who is this and who's fighting backstage? And not really much filling in, telling us who they are.
Yeah, they didn't do a good job of just throwing these new people with pretty bland, like pretty basic, generic, going back to square one of wrestling, WWE, NXT kind of stuff. Guy's Italian.
Oh, the whole thing, it's the 90s again.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a gimmick. What's
This guy's Italian mobster.
Italian.
This guy's not Rick Steiner's son. What are these two? They like, they're rough American barroom brawlers. Fighting the pint.
Yeah. This girl likes bubbles. And
these two, they wear shades and some chains, and they're best friends.
Yeah.
And one of them wasn't one of them's going to turn on the other one.
Yeah. It's very much, okay, we studied characters today at school, and we're going to, what character have you
doesn't
got?
mean this whole yeah. Oh yeah, sorry, that's a new one. Yeah, we'll get to him. Just felt everything's cookie cutter right all of a sudden. Yeah. Maybe not so all of a sudden. But don't worry, because we have there's some familiar faces right here. The Cruiserweight champion, Kushida.
Ah, yes.
Remember him?
I do.
Yeah, he's
back.
He's still in NXT. And he's the champ, but he's going to put the title on the line against Roderick Strong of the Diamond Mine, who comes out with Malcolm Bivens, the Creed brothers. And is it Niles? Oh man, I'm blanking. Ivy Niles.
Is it Niles?
Nile?
Ivy Lane.
Ivy Lane? Oh man, you're going to confuse me now.
I know it's Ivy Lane.
Okay. Well, Ivy. She comes out with them. And Kushida versus Roddy.
Ivy Nile,
yeah. Kushida versus Roddy. You should always listen to me. Kushida versus Roddy. Cruiserweight title. We get classic Kushida doing the cartwheels and the arm drags and the hip toss. Crazy hip toss into the arm bar, which always looks clean. They go to break. When we come back, Kushida is working the elbow of Roddy, does an avalanche arm breaker. Strong comes back with this backbreaker, and then a huge angle slam for a near fall. There's some kicks, chops, exchanges. Kushida with the hoverboard, and it looks like he's about to tap, but Malcolm Bivens puts Roddy's foot on the bottom rope. Therefore, the referee stops, makes Kushida break it. There's then the Creed brothers who pull Kushida out of the ring, which allows Ivy to jump off the steps with this flying Superman punch, puts him back in the ring. He's greeted by a high knee from Roddy, then the end of Heartache, the suplex lift into the double backbreaker thing, and we have a new Cruiserweight champion, Roderick Strong.
I thought this was really underwhelming.
Very. Jaded wrestling fan inside me goes, yo, it's Roderick Strong and Kushida. Why wasn't this A, the main event?
Yeah.
B, why wasn't this like...
I mean, this feud's been going for a while. Since Diamond Mine came into it, and Roddy
took him out.
Took him out, which was weeks ago. And this, I was excited back then. As soon as you go, oh, this is the direction they're going. Roddy versus Kushida, great. And then just throwing it on at the beginning of the show didn't really ever get going for me. The commercial break thrown in pretty early, and just I didn't feel we got much of a match at all. And then the whole distraction interference finish, it felt very underwhelming, this title change. And I would say I think they've done a good job at bringing a bit more prestige to this Cruiserweight Championship. I feel it has meant something over the last few reigns. And
I mean, good for Roddy. Big fan of Roddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Just this, I hope we get a rematch down the line, but what happens after it looks like they're moving right on. So I don't know. I feel like there's a much better match in there, but I'm with you. I figured this would be the main event. This is the match you're promoting.
No, I was super upset when they're two of my favorites.
Yeah.
Long time. You've been following wrestling for a while. You've probably watched these guys for years, and to see whatever build this was, you're like, yeah, all right, whatever else is going on, cool. But we're gonna get Kushida versus Roderick Strong. And instead, we just we got it, but it just didn't. Maybe it wasn't what we kind of expected. Should have been the main event, but Brick Breaker's there, so he's got to be in that main event. So Roddy's the champ, but then Grayson Waller,
who
comes out, and he's like, "Hey, nice title celebration that you almost had because you just won it, and I'm interrupting, but I want to challenge you." Fight me next week.
He calls NXT 2.0 a straight-up jungle. And if anyone can survive the jungle, it's him. Challenges Roddy.
Yeah. Dude, I was done. I was absolutely...
Well, Malcolm Bivens kind of gets on the mic and is, how dare you interrupt the champion celebration? And then Waller's going like, oh, do you have to check with Daddy first, see if we can get this match? Which kind of riles them up. And Roderick Strong agrees. So we're getting this match next week.
Roddy versus Grayson.
Yeah.
All right. So what happens with Kushida?
He just disappeared.
Kushida's not 6 foot. Is he 30? He's older than 30.
Oh, boy. Stay off your phone.
Or maybe, you know what?
Yeah.
Pick it up.
Maybe.
Pick it up. There's other places that you could be doing better things.
I don't like it when you have the immediate challenge after, because it does often make the person who lost the match look like just kicked to the curbside. Yeah,
sorry. No disrespect to, Grayson Waller.
Yeah.
But Kushida's still in the ring.
Yeah. That's kind of... I don't like that. I don't mind... Roddy, if Roddy as this champion, it's going to be a bit of a kind of open challenge thing, and he's facing all these young guys. Yeah, I think that's great. I think if this is going to be more developmental, you need to have the vets mixing in with them, and having Roddy as champion could be great. But I will say the first, I think we've seen Grayson, twice now? He had the tag match with Drake, when he's had promo time and stuff.
Yeah.
He comes across very irritating.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's meant to be.
You got that vibe too.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about this show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was underwhelmed by the match. I think that was my only hope for this show going into tonight. And it was instantly pulled away, and then we got Australian Jake Paul versus Roddy next week. So we'll wait for that. Well, we're at our real main event. which is the newest vignette from NXT superstar Tony D'Angelo.
Who?
Tony D'Angelo, who he's cutting a video promo here. He's by the docks. He says something about working on the docks his whole life. Something about his Uncle Paulie. He's got business arrangements. There's investments, handshake deals. And my family, they always told me, Tony, there's two things in life that we take seriously. Business and family. Well, I'm about to add a third thing to the list, says Tony D'Angelo. My success in the WWE. As he walks off, as the Italian music plays. Say what you will about NXT 2.0. Take a shot. Say what you will about Bron Breakker. Say what you will about the woke guy we'll talk about. But please, no Tony D'Angelo slander on this show. This is the most generic.
Oh, it's so generic.
He's gonna be lit though.
I find it funny because it's so ridiculous. It's so, as you said, cookie cutter, like paint by numbers. It's what's your gimmick? Italian. All right, well, you got an Uncle Paulie. You care about your family.
Handshake deals.
You got business. It's like
the docs.
It's so on the nose, and there's zero depth to this at all. And I just feel wrestling, and this is where I feel the just Bruce Pritchard fucking fingerprints all over this show, because NXT does feel different. I don't feel NXT really insults you too much. I think we were just praising the whole Cameron Grimes, Ted DiBiase story because there was a little bit more depth to it than your usual just stupid vignettes. Like it had purpose and it was going somewhere. And this is very much, all right, you're playing an Italian guy. All right, this guy's probably not even Italian.
No, he's
probably not even Italian.
No, they wouldn't do that. Check his ancestry.
Yeah, it's just very, I feel wrestling's very much moved on from this. I would like to hope it has. And just tonight, it feels like I've gone back in time 15 years.
Right. Yeah. I think it's so bad that I like it.
I'm kind of with you, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's sad, really.
But I think he's going to be lit.
He has to be.
I looked up his name. It was like something like Areola or something. That's probably why he changed his name to D'Angelo. But I think it'll be lit. I think so. He says it says he's an actual wrestler. Like he mentioned last week in the vignette, right? Like
amateur wrestling.
Yeah. So maybe he's good.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like the Italian Kurt Angle.
I'd love that.
You know, I
just don't think.
You don't like Italian Kurt Angle?
No, I just want to. I feel wrestling these days. We've moved away from a lot of the characters, and it is more just like athletes turned up.
Yeah.
You know, like look at the whole. Okay, you got.
But he's an athlete. He's a wrestler.
All right, with his Uncle Paulie.
Someone in the chat
said, possibly listening. Fuck off! I have an Uncle Paulie.
I'm literally Italian, and I have an uncle.
My family have a lot of businesses. All right, this is.
That's what I mean. Respect to this guy. But someone in the chat, Ruza in the chat says, "I thought Johnny used to work on the docks." Yeah, Tony used to work on the docks. I think it can work, but just because he's owning it up. He's taken whatever this is, and he's like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna say this shit. I hope he does have.
He's just gonna come in and be another Damien Sandow, Elias, whatever. Have an elbow drop.
I'm not even like I'm Portuguese, so I'm still waiting for my Man of War Part 2. I need my Portuguese wrestling hero to show up. Killer Kelly is one of them. So I'm not Italian, but like maybe we need what we needed all along was NXT Italy, and it's finally happening.
It's happening.
Yeah. So you thought
he's leading the charge.
Everyone laughed at me.
He needs to get. We just recorded our one night stand review earlier.
Yeah.
He needs to get
the FBI. Yeah.
Little Guido.
Uncle Paulie is Uncle Paul Heyman, who's like, let me introduce you to Nunzio. Little Guido. No, he's Little Guido.
Tony Mamaluke.
Yeah. Where's Vito?
Yeah.
There was a lot of people in the full-blooded Italians, though. Yeah. There needs to be a new big Italian hero in wrestling. Who do we got?
Fabian Eichner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's great, but he's more of a bad guy right now. I mean, this guy's going to be a bad guy. This Tony D'Angelo is going for like the Tony Soprano.
Are we gonna end up having down the line like a Freddy versus Jason kind of thing with Tony D'Angelo and Dexter Lumis? Like Tony D'Angelo ordering hits on different people, Dexter Lumis just chloroforming people, and it's yeah,
that would be great. See Tony D'Angelo's feeding ducks. He's riding horses in the house.
Is it called painting houses? No, what's the Irishman?
What does he call them? Yeah, paint houses. But in The Sopranos, it's interior decorator. What does he do? He's an interior decorator. Yeah. Oh, what does he do? He paints houses. Yeah. That's what Tony D'Angelo. That would make it a way more interesting character. Yeah. Indy finds out, she divorces him. What do you mean you've been murdering people? I mean, I have to divorce you. This is terrible. And then it turns out like he's actually painting houses. We're booked. We book things in NXT great, and then they never listen to us.
They sometimes do.
That 4-way match.
Still waiting on that Hell in a Cell.
We never got that Hell in a Cell. We got Sting, wrong show, but we got Sting. Yeah. And they never gave us Johnny and the Rascals. Still holding out for that. Yeah, but I want more Tony Soprano references with Tony D'Angelo. Like that. He needs to like do what I did during the pandemic and just watch The Sopranos straight through and pick up.
His vignette should be with a shrink.
Wow. Yeah, he should get someone to talk to, who's
maybe Persia. Maybe she could be a shrink.
Who didn't we have a shrink in NXT? We had Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh yeah.
Continuity counts in NXT. Yeah, Counselor Kyle.
Yeah.
Therapist Kyle O'Reilly will help out Tony D'Angelo, who explains all his problems and talks about the stories on the docks and how it was. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah. NXT is not dead, guys.
Moving on, we got Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs.
Okay. Guys.
This is my favorite moment of the
show. Yeah, let's talk about it. So, sorry, who are these two?
Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs.
So someone went, hey, can I borrow your homework to see like what you got for your answers? Because like I need help on this test, this homework test. Okay, but change it so it doesn't look like you stole it. You give me FTR. The mechanics are what they used to call themselves in NXT. And you give back these two. It felt like I was watching FTR in the bar. And then they're like, we like to fight. I swear he says something about how he wants to be knee-deep in bleep.
So Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs, they're saying that they're talking about how they met each other. And Josh Briggs went to a bar to drown his sorrows after he lost the breakout tournament. And he bumped into Brooks Jensen and was kind of in his personal space. They started fighting each other, and in fighting each other, they grew to respect each other.
They found love.
Because they both fought really well. So they both loved to drink and fight, and yeah, they said something about being knee-deep in something.
It bleeped out what he said, that he was knee-deep in...
I don't know.
Maybe he likes in-betweeners.
Maybe. That's all I could think of. Not repeating it.
At upNXT Podcast... He was knee deep in blank.
But yeah, again, just so generic. We've got your barroom brawlers. They've got their matching flannel. I feel like I've gone back in time.
This is like Trevor Murdoch and you weren't watching Lance Cade.
Okay,
RIP.
yeah, no, yeah.
This is like APA. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, it's that exactly. But
this is interesting. This is how we met, actually.
Yeah.
In a bar, we tried to fight each other.
We did.
And then we became best friends.
Yeah.
I don't know about this, man. This felt really... You said earlier the throwing a random Italian gimmick on someone felt like you're going back in time. This felt like going back to like...
It really felt like I was watching a show where you could tell at the PC that their homework was to go and partner up with people and come up with a character and... like Josh Briggs just went, hey, look, I've got this flannel shirt. You could wear a flannel shirt and we could be barroom brawlers. Yeah, let's do it. And then they make this and show it to class on Tuesday to the world.
This whole episode feels like this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Trevor Murdoch is NWA champion?
No.
Bless Trevor Murdoch. The Trevor Murdoch Destroyer. Yeah. This felt really weird. So, Briggs was like Evolve and stuff, right?
I think he was the last Evolve champion.
Jeez. All right.
Took it from Theory. Didn't like this. Can't say I'm too high on I've seen from these guys.
Two Americans who like going to bars and fighting. That's their gimmick.
I don't see star with these guys. You know, they just look very bland.
They literally look like two guys in a bar.
Yeah,
that's what they look like. But we'll see. We go to Amari Miller. She's coming out for her match. She's got some almost...
This Bubbles girl?
Bubbles?
No, was this the one with Bubbles?
Who's Bubbles?
Someone had Bubbles in their entrance. Yeah, she had Bubbles. Amari Miller.
She had Bubbles in her entrance.
She was popping her bubbles.
Whoa. Was that like Emma? Who used to do that? Yeah.
Emma.
Amari Miller with kind of Pokeballs as her, like, kind of look like it.
Okay.
Her gear. And she's going up against Kaylee Ray. But she's got a little, insert promo. She's talking really fast.
Kaylee Ray?
No, Amari Miller.
Oh.
She says that she's here to showcase her skills.
Pretty much.
No, that's literally... I wrote down exactly what she said.
That's what I wrote as well. I'm here to showcase
That's what
my
she ended
skills.
with.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Amari Miller. This is Big Brother. This is her Survivor. What is this show?
It was. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Amari Miller. I'm here to showcase my skills.
Yeah.
What? Two weeks ago.
This is on TV. You have a network where, by all means, you can throw out all this stuff. But this is a TV show now, and sorry, but as fans of this show who've been watching it for years, been watching it on the USA Network since it started, and now it just becomes this. It's so jarring, and it's such a step below the standard we're used to. And obviously people need to grow, and Amari Miller could end up being fantastic and being the greatest promo in wrestling. But this shouldn't be on TV.
Yeah.
Like, they're all so bland and so, like, day one of promo class.
It's everything standing out.
Yeah.
Like every segment's like, what?
On the network, as a show that we know is developmental, and you're watching these people and you go, oh yeah, I could see something there, I can see something there. It's all right, but it's a different show now, and it has been for years.
Yeah. It's such a step down. Well, Amari Miller versus Kaylee Ray. She runs at her, eats a bunch of strikes from Kaylee Ray, hits her with a gourd buster, dropping her on her gut and her face, and then hits her with a gory bomb. Kaylee Ray wins.
Yeah, quick squash match. Again, this feels like very old kind of 2013 NXT, where it's just squash match after squash match.
Yeah, but it's 2 hours, so it feels like 3.
Yeah.
So, I heard Raw was good this week, though.
You know what? Raw was great.
Yeah.
I watched the ECW One Night Stand. I was finishing off my drink, so I thought I'll watch Raw as I'm finishing off my drink, and I actually was kind of into it this week. And you know what? And I don't know what's happened, but the Nia Jax Shayna Baszler segment was fantastic, and I mean, have no irony with that. It was excellent.
I don't know, man. Raw has Lily, and NXT has Tony D'Angelo.
So that, like, they actually had a great promo. Alexa and Charlotte.
Now you're talking madness.
They started shooting on each other.
Don't even stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop. We go to Bron Breakker. Braun. He's talking about, man, I got so excited. I thought the greatest thing ever was going to happen. He says in his promo, this is Rick Steiner's son. And everyone wants to, he sounds like Scott Steiner. He goes, tonight, there's 3 guys. And I was like, he's going to do it. He's going to do the numbers promo right now. And then just goes, who are going to be in the ring with? Oh, okay. He's going to tease us. He's going to start every promo with a number.
It's like when Kenta used to tease the GTS.
Yeah. So he's going to always start his promos with numbers, and people are going to think he's going to do it. Yeah. And then finally one day, when pandemic's over, you can do it in a full crowd at a takeover. There's a hard time saying that. He's going to do it, and the world will rejoice. But he says tonight these people are ready. Ciampa walks in, and he says, "How you doing, Braun? Are you ready to sink or swim?" And Braun says, "I'm ready to kick some ass with the champ." So,
and he's staring at the title still.
Yeah, because he's got a 3% chance of winning.
Yeah.
Damn. We go to an advertisement saying up next, the debut of the first ever WWE NXT superstar from Singapore, Dante Chen.
Yes.
So he comes out. He's going up against Trey Baxter.
We did just miss
Oh,
outside.
yeah.
And I can't remember this guy's name, but we saw him beat Boa the other week.
Okay, so yeah, sorry, yeah. They said when we come back it's Dante Chen, but when we come back, it says earlier today, we get Zion Quinn.
Zion Quinn, that's right.
Zion from Zion.
Yeah.
Zion Quinn. He's walking with two women in the parking lot. He should know better. And he goes to hold the door for them, and he goes, "Oh, ladies first." But as he does, someone like buds in and like walks through. So he stops him, and goes, "Yo, where are your manners?" And then lets the women in first, closes the door, and then throws the guy against the door, beats the hell out of him. What? What's going on? What? Is he a good guy or a bad guy?
I don't know.
He's a good guy to me.
Because he was a good guy because
he
he was being polite,
Yeah.
he was being a gentleman, and then he was teaching this guy learn some fucking manners.
Yeah, well, they should all learn how
So
to
I
act.
think he's a good guy. But I also... Are we supposed to know who the guy he beat up is? Is this a wrestler?
Dude, I have
Is this
no
a new
idea.
wrestler, or is this just a random guy getting beaten up?
No idea. I really... This show feels like I'm watching 2013, 2014 NXT. Like, this weird, like nothing's professional.
No.
Nothing feels like you've been... Like, everything's so green. Greener than green.
Yeah.
The greenest.
I'm waiting for them to have the audio issues again.
Yeah.
Things filmed out of order.
The audio issues come later during the Toxic Attraction promo because no one reacts.
Oh,
It's just quiet. Well, we go to our next match. Dante Chen, the first ever Singaporean here in WWE, is going up against your favorite,
Trey Baxter.
All Heart Trey Baxter. He got a half an entrance here,
Yeah.
but he's in the ring. He comes at Dante. He counters a strike and hits him with a half and half suplex, which looked great from Trey Baxter. They're fighting up top. There's eventually this like fisherman sit out buster. Dante Chen wins.
Yeah, it was kind of like almost like the wing clipper, but a front face lock hitting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really enough to judge this Dante Chen guy. His finish looked okay. I like Trey Baxter, but it's a shame if he's going to just be... Well, we'll see what's going to happen with Trey.
I think the story
But
comes
I didn't
after.
really see enough of Dante to really judge him. Again, it was just another squash.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what they do with him because he seems like he can wrestle, but so can Trey Baxter. So it's kind of weird that they put him in the slot. You know what? Dante looked like ripped. He looked like a superstar.
Yeah.
Like, so maybe there is some potential there.
He came out with this
Mask.
this mask as well.
Yeah, it looks sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally down
It was
for
almost like the Bandido kind of
Yeah.
bandana style mask.
Yeah, again, like, I'm all for... It's World Wrestling Entertainment.
Yeah.
I'm loving when you tell me someone's from somewhere else and all these things. So you tell me there's an Italian who's going to fight a Singaporean? Hell yeah. Book
Yeah.
it. Exactly. Well, Trey Baxter, he's having quite a night. Does that happen now or later?
No, it's a bit later.
Oh, man, I just want to talk about it now. But instead, we go to Chase University. Guys, it's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night, boys. So,
Hey.
Chase University, the Center for Higher Learning, we see Andre Chase.
Did somebody say Andre Chase?
No one said Andre Chase. Not one person. Andre Chase is now a professor at the Chase University. Wow. I mean, That's pretty much a step up from where he was before. You now have a university named after you?
I guess, yeah.
Chase University?
Chase University.
Well, he's a professor and he's speaking to a class, another lecture here. And he's telling people about their lesson today in class at Chase University. About how to get ahead in life. And well, if you want to get ahead in life, you shouldn't look up to people like Odyssey Jones. You should study that because he learned how to fumble. And a few people are like, hey, excuse me, I have a question. He's like, oh, yes, does someone have a question? Yeah, but didn't Odyssey Jones beat you in the breakout tournament? No. What's your name? Steve. Steve? Get the fuck out, Steve. But they bleeped out. Fuck, obviously. But so Steve leaves.
It's funny. There was a report on Fightful earlier today about how NXT 2.0 are apparently going to be leaning into kind of harsher language and be a little edgy.
Yeah.
So they got Harlan Bravado to drop the F-bomb.
Fuck off, Steve.
Fuck off, Steve.
The fuck out of here, Steve.
He starts smashing the room, throwing chairs around.
Damn, what did Steve ever do?
It's funny because I always use the name Steve.
Isn't Steve the guy from Blue's Clues who just came back with like cutting a most beautiful promo to the world?
Oh.
And he shouldn't be telling Steve to fuck off. This was funny, but still.
It was funny, but...
Sorry, let's spin the wheel of gimmicks and land on, okay, Italian mobster guy. Okay, hold on. And, oh, wait, we got one. Professor.
I didn't find Chase Austin too convincing.
Chase
either.
Austin?
What's his name? No, Chase Universe. What's his name? Austin. Fuck.
What's his name?
Did someone say...
Yeah.
Oh, is it Austin Chase?
No, I know it. I'm just waiting for you to figure it out.
Oh, but... No, Steve's the other guy.
Andre
Chase.
Did somebody say...
Yeah, I didn't think he sounded too convincing here. It was kind of funny, I guess, but again, it's just boxer gimmicks.
Like, come on. I love the fuck off, Steve. Get the fuck out of here, Steve. Get the fuck out, Steve. But, like, what? He's like, who did you ever beat? Get out of here.
I do like it, though. I like when Taz has done this on AEW, where he's pointing out people's flaws and stuff.
Right.
And I did quite like where he's going, look at Odyssey Jones's cover there. It's so lazy, and was pointing out, like, how he lost the match.
He's teaching just kids in
But
a
it's just
school?
random guys.
This would have worked in Full Sail. When they actually were in a university.
Right, yeah.
Now they're not. So then they got this gimmick. What's going on in this show? Jeez. We go to... Okay.
First it was actually, you just nipped out, but there was a tweet from Triple H saying thank you for all the well wishes. Obviously, he had a bit of a scare recently, and he's
about to have
recovering.
another one next week when he comes back.
Like, Triple H, don't watch your show.
Please. Triple H, we love you. All the bad things any wrestling fan has ever said about you, I'm sorry. We're all sorry. Please. Please, what's going on? Take it to help, please.
Take back what's rightfully yours.
We love you.
Paul, come on.
Your reign in 2002 to 2005, great. It was amazing. Come back, please. Sean, Sean, you've been doing great work. But, the king is back. Please. Yeah. I don't know. Our thoughts to Triple H. Legend. But, yeah. We go to our next segment. In the middle of the ring is Joe Gacy. We've seen him in the breakout tournament here. He is in black pants, black belt, black shoes, and he's wearing a nice gray button-up shirt. He basically looks like my waiter the other night.
Yeah, he's completely dressed as a waiter.
He's a waiter. He has a microphone, and he says that this world, well, it's full of conflict. I'm full of conflict. He says he realizes that his male privilege has gotten him where he is. And he understands that. But he knows that he is here to help make NXT a safe space. And it all starts here tonight. And he points in this ring. This is a safe space. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, your next gimmick on the spin a wheel of NXT gimmicks is Joe Gacy is a woke man.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you know what that means.
He's a heel.
He's a heel.
It's so funny, and that's just another thing on this show where it doesn't feel like it's the same people in control of this.
Stay woke.
This feels so Vince McMahon. It's, you're a vegan, you're a heel. Sorry, you want equality and people to feel safe at work, you're a heel.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Muhammad
Hassan, absolutely.
So this guy's gimmick is he realizes as a white privileged male living in a world of toxic masculinity that he's going to change wrestling. What a bad tone-deaf time to introduce a character like this, but he didn't quite. He just scratched the surface.
Scratched the surface.
Yeah.
It could be quite fun. This character, it could be, but just it's so funny the way WWE look at things, because isn't this always the way? Yeah, this guy's woke. Oh, he's 100% a
But
heel.
why does he have to dress like some guy in a meat
I have
group?
no idea what he was wearing.
Like, why is he dressed like this? He used to wear like scary goth stuff.
Yeah, his name's Joe Gacy. Like,
Yeah. So there's going to be an evolution of the character that he eventually is like unwoken,
Is there?
awakened. He's woke, but he's like going to be real woke.
Right.
That, you know what? It's terrible, but I'm like I'm someone who definitely flies in the middle in my views. And sometimes I'm like, man, that person's too woke for their own good. Maybe that's what they're going to go for. No offense to anyone who's too woke for their own good. But maybe that's what they're going to go for. Like, we all know that one vegan in our life who's like, ugh, you're not vegan? Because, like, you should be.
Yeah.
There's always, like, that one, you know.
I think we've seen gimmicks kind of like this before, and it's really down to the performer how good they're going to be with it. Because this could be a lot of fun. Like, we've seen how Sami Zayn would play with a character like this, and he's so entertaining that he makes it work. We'll see with Joe Gacy, but I think this could be a pretty funny gimmick.
They're going to go too far with it, and they're going to pull the plug on it. They're going to do...
that.
Yeah, they're going to... He's gonna start... I'm going to get...
Or one week they're just going to go, Joe, you're Italian as well.
You look Italian.
Tony needs a mate. Your new name is Uncle Paulie.
Joseph Gacy. Someone in the chat says he should go by Joseph Gacy if he's using this character. Like
Joseph Gacy, yeah.
I don't know how that makes him more woke. Fuck. Remember in wrestling when there was knives and guns? Now we got this woke ass. Fuck off, Steve. So Joe Gacy's in a match, and he's still wearing his shirt, but he's going to fight Cameron Grimes.
Yeah.
Cameron Grimes versus Joe Gacy. Cameron comes after him with a series of strikes. Joe does fight back. He starts beating him down with some kicks. He goes for this pump kick to like the chest, which sends Grimes flying back, but he runs at him with, yes, the cave-in, and it's over. After the match, Joe Gacy gets up and approaches Grimes and offers a handshake. Grimes pinned him, but he's like, GG, good game. And Grimes is like, nah, get the fuck away from me. Fuck off.
He then goes for a hug, and he's like, no, don't touch me.
And he like hugs him, but he's like,
So this...
Grimes does not like woke people.
Yeah, Cameron Grimes, who they've done such a great job as being, I'd say, one of the top baby faces in NXT, is now like, yo, bro, fuck off. Don't touch me.
This is so weird.
So weird.
Yeah.
Like, Grimes looked like a dick.
It's so backwards.
If you're watching this isolated and you're not just used to how wrestling works, WWE works, you just go, this guy's being super nice. He lost the match. He's being a sportsman, offering his hand, and the guy's like being a sore winner. Like, no, fuck off.
Yeah.
It hasn't. There's not been enough leading up to this for Grimes not to trust him or be like, they haven't. We've only, as you said, scratched the surface. This is week one of this.
There's going to be more. Yeah.
If this had gone on for weeks and weeks and has been building up, and Grimes knows he's this obnoxious prick, he's like, no, I'm not hugging you. Sure. But Grimes here they had a match.
Yeah.
He won. The guy's like, good match though, mate. And he's like, fuck off. Fuck off, Steve.
I just like, where are they gonna go with there's got to be a ceiling, and I guess the eventual is how he goes crazy and puts his face paint on and stuff like that, because he does do this goth stuff. But as of now, he's just literally a privileged white male who's realized his faults, and he's awoken. He's woke. He's gonna change. He's gonna start recycling more.
Watch Dark Side of the Ring, and we need some changes around here.
That's what it feels like. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, what's the next step? He's gonna do all the vegan stuff. He's gonna recycle. He's gonna have protests. He's gonna
speak to Andrew Yang and try and
get a union
going.
Yeah, he's gonna be all about that. He's gonna talk about I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble saying things, so I'm gonna stop myself. Someone in the chat says he's gonna change his bio to he him. Yeah, along the lines of stuff like that.
Right.
Like just being the most woke person you can think of. Yeah. No, you know what? Like I'm making fun. There is if everyone in the world was more like woke, maybe not to the level of, certain things, but like maybe the world literally would be in a better place. And that's what we're saying is like,
guys, just be more like Ted Lasso. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. Be like Ted.
We interrupt our broadcast for our Ted Lasso review. If you have heard us gush over Ted Lasso the past few weeks, well, maybe you should gush with us because it's won all the Emmys.
That's going to be our new slogan. Up next, gush with us.
You should. Fruit Gushers looks like all that paint logo that we got going on. Yeah, Ted Lasso. I'm caught up. There's a few more episodes to come out for season 2, which is bonkers, which is just amazing. But Sudeikis won an Emmy for playing Ted Lasso. Roy fucking Kent. Is it some? I'm blanking now on.
What's his name? Roy Kent.
Yeah, they won all the Emmys. They won.
Brett Goldstein.
Yeah, they won. They won like best comedy show. They won a bunch of stuff. So shout out Ted Lasso if you've not already. It's definitely worth checking out that Apple TV because it's such a good show. And they're only doing one more season.
Oh, really?
He announced like last year, like I'm doing 3 seasons. Like season 2 feels like Empire Strikes Back, of like the world. Like okay, they're getting beat up and everything's not working out, but you know how life is. There's ups and downs. That's what the show is. The show is great. There's lots of layers to it. It's definitely. I'm not a sports person. I don't even really care about footy, but it makes me like. There's so much more to it.
Oh yeah, it's real feel good.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Feel good. Be like Ted.
Also, Jason Sudeikis, like the real life stuff that's going on with him and his now ex-wife Olivia Wilde, who I super crushed on hard years ago, is like you want to see him like bounce back from being kind of she like rumors are according to Too Cold she like left him for Harry Styles from One Direction, younger. She traded him in. She's like, I need a pop star. So he's like, what do I do? Goes and makes Ted Lasso.
He's being great.
See,
he's doing great.
Comeback season, baby. Him. Shout out Ted. Believe. Because as Ted Lasso always says, living in the now is a gift. That's why they call it the present, y'all. All right? And that's why NXT 2.0 is the greatest pro wrestling show on the planet.
On Tuesdays.
Back to our scheduled product. All right, let's talk about some other weird gimmicks that's happening. Football coach. What other gimmick? If you spun the wheel,
he'd be a heel.
Football coach.
It's not an American sport, so football coach is a heel.
Football coach,
like a soccer coach.
Yeah. What other gimmicks would you want here in NXT? If you spun the wheel, there hasn't been a chef in wrestling, like a cook. No one's cooked.
LA Park on MLW.
Yeah, but not enough. I need a guy who's cooking.
Chef.
Yeah. He's like, because all these wrestlers love doing talk shows, right?
Yeah.
Like every wrestler's got a talk show, but no one's got a cooking show.
No, you're right. That would be good.
So like, what's going on? Sleeping. You mean to tell me
we had a magician?
We've had a few magicians.
Like an actual kind of.
Not lately. So watch what you say, because we might get one. But yeah. We've had one in like the 90s, early 90s.
You could have a David Blaine kind of character that it's just like, for this takeover, I'm just going to stand on this pole for the whole thing. Just show's going on and he's just stood there doing his stunt.
It's not that impressive, but it's like, oh, he's still there.
He's still standing there.
I watched David Blaine. I watched like a 2-hour special on TV. He's standing up and he's like, guys, I'm gonna fall into boxes. It's like, okay, like, dude, I think I could do that too.
It's like, it's not magic.
Yeah,
I mean, it's cool, I guess, but not magic.
Is that how people think when they watch Jeff Hardy jump off ladders? They're like, sorry, it's not wrestling.
It's not magic.
Gimmicks, yeah, magician, a chef.
What about like you could have like a janitor.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan was a janitor in WCW.
But like one working at the CWC, just a guy who's like regularly like
Old Man Withers
working there and build up to his match.
The janitor.
Yeah.
He's gonna clean up this town.
Yeah.
This division. Janitor. We got a professor. We got a woke guy.
Got an Italian.
We got Natalia.
Italian.
We need Natalia's sister in NXT. That's for sure. We need that as a gimmick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we might get more gimmicks actually because we get some recaps of things of the wedding.
Yes.
With Indy and Dexter, and they're on their honeymoon. They're having a great time, so they're not here tonight, but they're enjoying life since everything went well. I love seeing all the memes of Dexter Lumis with the knife, like the axe, like showing the axe, like don't fuck with me. We go to Von Wagner, a little video for him with his main event slot last week. This video made it make as much sense as it did last week. Hey, Kyle O'Reilly's been taken out. Hey, what's your name? Von Wagner? You're 6'5". You stand out in an airport. You're in the title match.
He was calling himself, he said unconventional, and I think he said unprofessional.
He said it showed close to him them like working out, like doing jumps on a wheel and like a hammer and stuff.
He had a sledgehammer.
Yeah, Triple H vibes. And he said that he has unconventional methods.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure I see people working out with hammers and tires before. So
Yeah.
But
well, we'll see how unconventional
he was good in the match.
He was good last week, yeah.
Like, not denying that. It's still just like, how many of these throwing people into things can we take?
Well, you know, like, I don't mind the vignettes so much because that's how we learn about these guys. It's more just the random backstage segments, but I don't mind these videos highlighting these people. I think the main thing was just there was too much of it at once. I do think if they spread these out over a few weeks, not dumped all these guys and girls on the screen on the same week, it wouldn't feel quite as jarring.
Well, Von Wagner, 6'5", very impressive. Look to impress here in NXT 2.0. We go to Legado del Fantasma. They come out. Carmen, Elektra, Jennifer Lopez. Mm-hmm. Elektra Lopez is going to have a match against Anna Scheer, who I think is formerly known as Tesha Price.
Okay.
She's wrestled in AEW, according to John Cena. Shot in the Dark.
Yes.
Expert. He's like, oh.
New Shot in the Dark coming out tomorrow.
Oh.
Free on this feed.
Damn. Well, maybe you'll hear him talk about... No, you won't, because she's here. But Anna Scheer. She gets beat up by Elektra Lopez here, who hits her with this spinning sidewalk slam and this kind of sit-out Blue Thunder Bomb for the pin. Just like that. Pretty quick. Another squash match here. Legado del Fantasma standing in the ring with her, and Santos grabs the mic and says, class, elegance, sophistication, fuego, raw power. And she's here to command silence and respect. And Carmen Elektra. Elektra Lopez grabs the mic and says she's the first lady of Legado. La Magrina is going to unleash on BFAB and NXT 2.0. So, Pera, get your skinny ass out here. As Hit Row come out. And it's a brawl. These two are trying to kill each other here. It's Chaos, which announces next week BFAB versus Elektra Lopez in a no disqualification match.
Whoa. I imagine we'll get a lot of shenanigans with the rest of Legado, which it'll need, because I didn't think BFAB looked great at all last week.
I just don't get, like, the feud. It's almost like they're just focusing now on these two fighting, when it's like, don't you all hate each other?
No, I think they'll go back to that. I think it's just we've just had the in-ring debuts of both these women.
Yeah,
it's time to focus on them a bit. I still think we'll get the mixed tag.
Okay.
And, yeah. we'll go back. We still got to have the North American title match, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, we go backstage. We get Trey Baxter, who's in his locker room. He's upset about his win. His loss earlier tonight. And in comes his, I believe, IRL, real life girlfriend, Cora Jade. And she's like, "Hey, what's wrong?" And he's like, "What's wrong? Like, didn't you see? I lost. I lost out there." She goes, "Oh, come on. Chin up. You know I love you no matter what. You're like a superhero out there. Chin up. Gives him a big smooch on the lips and then walks off. And then he's just thinking to himself. And he says out loud, Eddie's like holding his neck here, "Superhero? Question mark?" Ladies and gentlemen, we're spinning the wheel again.
So
stay in the back. Trey Baxter's coming through.
So we got the Italian who's playing an Italian. We've got the two big lads, so they're barroom brawlers, and now they're looking up and down and they go, Trey Baxter, you're small. Let's make you a superhero.
Because I thought she said that Dante, the other dude, looked like a superhero. She's like, "Oh, that guy looked like a superhero," because he had the mask and the cape and stuff. But I wasn't sure. I don't know.
I don't know, but either way, I thought she was saying kind of, "Oh, you're my superhero" or something. But either way, we're getting superhero Trey Baxter. Whoever Cora was talking about, we're getting superhero Trey Baxter. What's his super name going to be? Super Trey?
Super Trey.
It's better than Trey Baxter, to be honest. Super Trey.
Super Trey. Super Trey?
Baxman.
Baxman. No, stop. Super Trey.
The Bax. Yeah. Oh boy. Like, I kind of like that they're drawing on this real relationship.
Yeah.
But again,
wait a second. So they're either we misheard and they're doing a like Degrassi High like love triangle thing, like, "Oh, that guy looked like a superhero," and he's like, "Yo, what the fuck? Like, you're my girl. Why are you saying this shit?" Or she's like, "Oh, you should be a superhero." And
I think she was just like being like, "Oh, I love you whether win or lose. You're my superhero. Like, you're great."
Yeah, but she may have said
she's being super.
I think we may have misheard, and she said Dante.
We'll have to go back and rewatch.
I'm
this.
dying to know now.
Yeah. I do like that they brought this relationship up, but it's again out of nowhere. They've never had like Vic on commentary being like, even in the match being like, "Oh, and next week we'll see his girlfriend Cora Jade in action," or just some mention.
Yeah,
it's just suddenly they're smooching and they're
it's like
at the locker room.
It's like putting a random episode of a show you don't know.
It is
the characters, and then all of a sudden you're just supposed to understand. Oh, okay, cool. Like, I get it, but
Cora
like
Jade, who also I don't think has really spoken before. We've seen her at like the bachelorette party and stuff like that, but we've not seen a great deal of her.
Just so weird.
But yeah, it looks like we're gonna have your Nikki Ash on Mondays and Super Trey on Tuesdays.
Well, what is his nickname?
All Heart.
Yeah, so maybe you could do that, something with the heart. All Heart. So many people, though. There's the Rebel Heart.
I love their hearts.
The Heart Bret Hart. Yeah. Heart and Soul. Yeah, he needs to be Super Trey.
Super Trey.
What? No. I refuse. I said this show broke me. You're understanding why. I'm surprised you made it this far. Reminder, we do BD Elite every week on this feed where we talk about AEW Dynamite. Because, dude, this show hurt me. It hurt my soul.
I wonder there were times when I was watching Wade tonight.
And
when he came back in, he was probably thinking, "Oh yeah, I like NXT. Get to see some really good matches every week and stuff."
Yeah.
And now he's just watching
Baxman.
Cora Jade and Trey Baxter make out backstage.
Fuck. Man. Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, we go to Raquel Gonzalez backstage with Frankie Monet. Well, it's Frankie Monet and her squad. They're looking to get that title match that never happened, that they promised us all this time. And, well, they run into Raquel, and she says, "I just spoke to William Regal, and I got the match we both want." Next week, Frankie Monet, Raquel Gonzalez, women's title on the line. So, yeah, that's going to happen as Raquel walks off. Then we get... Who is this?
Lash Legend. You know Lash Legend.
Lash Legend.
She has a talk show, Lashing Out, on NXT.
That's debuting next week.
Yeah.
So Lash Legend comes out, and she's like, "Yeah,
I got a talk show
I got
next
a talk
week.
show next week." I'm broken.
So she's a talk show host.
Yeah, sure. I mean, have you seen the set of NXT? It looks like Maury. I don't know. This place looks like Oprah's set. Like,
Yeah.
It looks like a talk show. Where's Dr. Phil?
Oh.
Fuck. So, more people we don't know that we're supposed to already, like, just, okay, this is this person.
Lash Legend.
Lash LaRue. And, Lash.
She's from... okay.
Look, I don't know
Texas
this person.
A&A
Maybe
alumna,
she's amazing.
Mississippi State alumna,
Just-
Atlanta native.
I don't know. I don't know all these people that were going from segment to segment of just all these strangers. Strangers.
Yeah.
Why are these strangers on my TV in my house? I don't like it. I like being comfortable. I like things being the same.
Where's Johnny? Where's Zaya?
Yeah. Fuck. Where's Bo Dallas? Where's Seth Rollins?
Where's Breezango?
Where's Richie Steamboat?
Come on.
Cassius Ohno. NXT icons.
Yeah.
Back in the good old days. Jeez. All right. So we're getting Lash LaRue next week with Lashing Out.
Lashing Out.
Lash Legend. Wow. I'm excited. Is it going to be like a salon?
Just saw what's coming up next.
What's coming up next?
Odyssey Jones versus two jobbers.
Okay, Odyssey Jones versus two jobbers. We don't say that word often, but we're saying it tonight.
If you don't identify them by their names,
If you don't
they're
even give them a
jobbers.
graphic,
Yeah.
then I don't. Yeah, they don't. I don't see you.
Yeah.
I don't associate with you. More strangers in my house. Odyssey Jones beats up these
He's
two guys.
essentially a veteran, right?
Yeah,
by this
Odyssey's
point.
a fucking vet. Like walking around like, yeah, I've been running shit here. Like,
He's also mates with everyone. He
Yeah.
was at the bachelor party. He's just mates with Steve.
he needs to find a friend who can help him get better gear.
Yeah.
He beats these guys up.
Maybe that'll be a new gimmick next week.
Seamstress.
The seamstress.
We get a splash to both guys off the top as Odyssey Jones wins.
Yeah, he does like a frog splash. I didn't think it looked too great. And also him finishing with the splash, it just kind of made me miss Bronson Reed a little. You go, he's just gone, and now here's another big lad. He
doesn't do the splash as well at all.
And it's nowhere near as good as the Tsunami.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't do... These job matches can sometimes be quite fun, like the 2-on-1 big monster squashes. But we've already had 2-3 squashes on the show already that I don't care. I don't care.
Odyssey Jones, motherfucker Jones. We go to our next segment. If you thought you've said who yet enough on this show, because I don't know what the count was, guys, get ready, because we're about to meet... sorry, I don't even know who these people were. I don't even know their names. So, a bunch of guys hanging around. Then we get Carmelo Hayes and everybody's newest favorite superstar here, Trick.
Oh, Trick, that was his name. I was thinking Chet. I couldn't remember.
Chet?
Yeah.
Chet Hanks? Yeah, equally annoying.
Yeah.
Maybe doesn't flub his lines as much as the Trick, though. Trick Hanks? Trick and Chet Hanks? Yeah. That sounds like a tag team.
What's his name? Trick.
Trick.
Trick who?
I thought it was Trick. What's his name? Trick Jones?
Trick.
Fuck, man, there's too many people.
There's a lot. I feel like when I started watching Game of Thrones and you go, okay, there's a lot
There's
of
so many
characters.
people.
I need to refer to some
Who are
family
you?
trees.
Who are you? Who are these people? Fuck. Okay, so we got Trick.
Trick
and-
Williams.
Trick Williams. Of course. Trick Williams is here. He's talking something. They're talking to some guys and they're like, we got this contract. Carmelo Hayes has got this contract. And it means he's got options. And Trick is like, yeah, man, we like to keep our options open. which means like, hey, maybe we could be tag team champions because there's two of them. Out walk past everybody. Toxic Attraction, meaning brunette Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolan, and JC Jane, as all of the guys are looking at them like, ooh, and Trick Williams says, "Damn." I think he says that they're attractive.
Yeah, he says they're hot and fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
the only thing I've understood from this guy, to be honest, I'm like, you're not wrong, Trick.
Fucking Trick, man. Yeah, this one.
These guys are annoying. These are my new Casey and Caden.
Carmelo and Trick.
Yeah,
I can't say Trick has delivered any treats yet. No. Well, get ready, dude. This feels like forever. Are we done yet? We need a pack. Okay, we go to
Ikemanjiro.
Ikemanjiro. He is not strong style. He's style strong is what he is. He says, everyone keeps asking him, Ikeman, what does Ikeman mean? He says it means handsome man. And I am a handsome man. And then he's also saying to be a handsome man, you got to have handsome jackets. And it cuts to him wearing all these different jackets with all these different colors, with special effects from Movie Maker 2000 with like views, lasers, and
he's just spinning
everything. I definitely thought my indica was a sativa here. I was like, what's going on? This is getting too wild. What did you think of the first part of Jiro's?
Fantastic. Loved it. Loved everything about it. This is exactly what we need more of, and I can't wait to see him wrestle again.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to get more of these vignettes.
Brilliant. I want to see more jackets. Show me all the jackets.
I thought we were going to get his life story.
Tell me again about that Ikeman means handsome man.
Yeah, they told me about his life story. This wasn't his life story.
No, it was he's handsome and he likes jackets.
Spinning and lasers and music. It made me laugh, but probably for the wrong reasons.
It's funny, but like just with everything else we've seen on this show, just ugh. We know he likes jackets. Like, I didn't learn anything new about this guy.
Yeah. Well, we go to Toxic Attraction. They've gained a new name. Mm-hmm. Toxic Attraction, meaning brunette Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolan, and JC Jane. But they lost their Tainted Love, Sweet Dreams, or what is it, Marilyn Manson
ripoff? Well, that was
ripoff?
Gigi's, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Theme, I think. But
this theme sucks.
They should have kept Gigi's theme for this, because it was way better.
Yeah, this theme's kind of soft. So
I thought you were going to say they lost the ability to talk as well.
So brunette Mandy Rose. She says, I came here to NXT. I came back to be your gift, your golden goddess. I realized this division needed me. They needed a woman who you will never be able to love, but only to look at, meaning all these people here. You'll never be with someone like me. Like, one guy booed. There was just quiet. It was just got quiet. I don't think they knew how to react to this. She says, when my face was broken and beaten and brutalized, I was a gif. I was everything. I was a joke to you people. But you didn't care about me. Just like you didn't care about Gigi and JC. They don't give a damn about us. So a beast is ready to be unleashed on your precious, greatest women's division. It's me and these two baddies who are going to take over. Then Gigi Dolan grabs the mic. She says, chaos without purpose is an exit waiting to happen. Something like that. She says, we're not just pretty faces in the crowd. And JC grabs the mic and says, just like the rest of these broads in the back. Jeez. She says, you've got another thing coming. Zoe and Io, you have an ass-kicking coming. So, Toxic Attraction, making themselves known here. I want this to be working so bad, but it definitely kind of felt like it fell flat a little bit. Maybe it's the crowd reaction.
Mate, I didn't think Mandy sounded bad. I think I thought she was fine, and I think she's a good leader for this group, and I think she could go far because she impressed me in that tag match we saw last week. It did kind of just fall flat when Gigi and JC were talking. I don't really like the we're hotter than everyone kind of thing they're essentially going for. I think it's a bit dated, but I like this, like these girls' style, and I've liked what I've seen in ring. So I think this could work as a group, but this did feel like a very flat segment.
Yeah, I want to like these three, and it was working last week.
Yeah.
It was the highlight probably for us last week. We were like, oh, Burnett Mandy Rose stole the show. But here it's like, okay.
Maybe it's confidence. Like Gigi Dolan, I didn't think sounded very confident on the mic at all. JC was okay, but yeah, this segment really didn't do a whole lot for me.
Well, they called out Io and Zoe, which we go to next, who we're watching on TV, and Io says, I don't like them, so they're on next week, tag team titles on the line. And Zoe Stark is like, whoa, hey, Zoe, Io, Zoe says, Io, whoa, I thought we were a team, don't you think that we should talk about this and come to an agreement? What? You like them? Well, no. Okay, well, then we'll fight them. Okay. This is when Persia walks in.
Who?
There you go. Yeah, Persia, from the bachelorette party.
Oh, yes. Indy's best friend.
Yeah. She says, hey, Indy's not here. She's on her honeymoon. But when she gets back, I know she wants another shot at those tag titles, so you got to give us a shot. So good luck next week as Persia walks off.
You see, I think that's actually, of these new characters, Persia's been introduced quite well. We saw her at the bachelorette party. They brought her in as, okay, well, we hear she's Australian. She talks about coming on this flight to go to Indy's wedding. She's then there at the wedding, and now with Indy away, she's challenging them to a tag match. You've established the friendship thing, and that's a good way of getting a new talent kind of mixed in with this crop of people we already know. For me, this wasn't as jarring as a lot of the others, and this is maybe what some of the others should have done, like gradually bleeding them in. And also quite... I didn't realise how tall she was. I mean, I know Io's not crazy tall, and I don't think Zoe's particularly tall, but she looked huge here. So interested to see... Well, I know nothing about her, I don't think. Oh, actually, was she on that show we reviewed with Chris? It would have been a different name.
I don't think so.
No?
No. She's from Australia, and she's probably in the Indies with Indy.
Yeah, that's the one I mean.
Yeah, but I don't think so. She doesn't look familiar to me, but
no. Okay.
And her name's Persia. I mean, yeah, she could have changed her name, but yeah. Well, we go to I liked Io and Zoe better than I have before because it's to the point, and Io was like, hey, like I don't like them. I want to
fight.
Yeah, that's all she needs to say. We get an advertisement for NXT UK, and I thought for a second.
Yeah, sorry, this is Steph DeLander. She was in Indy Hartwell's corner in the match against Millie McKenzie we watched.
Damn, okay. Yeah, I had no idea. NXT UK advertising Brendan Fraser?
Yeah.
Nathan Fraser?
Nathan Fraser.
No relation to Brendan Fraser? I knew the comeback was coming, but I didn't think Brendan Fraser would come back on NXT UK, which would make me watch it. But I don't see how he would fit in, because I don't think he's from the UK.
Brendan Fraser?
He's technically, I think he's from Toronto.
Spoilers, Ilya Dragunov's not from the UK, Walter's not from the UK.
So you're saying Brendan has a chance?
Brendan's got a chance. Sure.
Anyone who's got two hands has a fighting chance over in NXT UK, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Wow, imagine that. Seeing Brendan Fraser in a ring.
NXT UK ring?
He should be in a movie. He should show up in heels or something. He's got wrestling, I'm sure he's a big fan.
Yeah, are you?
No, I heard Brendan. I think Brendan Fraser is a big fan.
Oh, yeah?
I bet he would be a wrestling fan.
Has he been on Raw?
Has Brendan Fraser been on Raw?
Yeah.
If he has, why have I not seen that? No, he's not been on Raw. Ben Stiller's been on Raw or SmackDown. We talked about it recently.
Yeah.
But I can't. Nicolas Cage hasn't, but I know he's a big fan. Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I can't see him doing any wrestling stuff.
So Brendan Fraser's not a fan.
No.
Interesting. You think if we had Brendan Fraser over, we would show him like Shingo Ishii?
Oh, he'd love it.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah,
like
he'd
it.
be down.
Yeah, he would be all right. Crush some beers. Yeah. There's still more, but it's almost over. It's the main event.
We're getting there, guys.
Yeah. Main event, tag team match. Ciampa, Bron Breakker, Pete Dunne, Ridge Holland. We have Ciampa and Pete start off. These two have history. They keep going at it with hold for hold. Actually, I was quite into the technical wrestling of these two. I just would like to see a singles match is probably where we're going.
I think we're getting there, yeah.
Yeah. We have Ciampa, who's tagging in and out with Bron Breakker, who I think he did this spot purposely. He tags in Bron, who's hitting a series of moves, and then tags back in Ciampa, who then hits a bulldog, like the Steiners.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's...
all of his stuff is the Steiners.
Yeah, no, sorry, but Ciampa did it.
Oh, Ciampa's doing it?
So I think he did it because he's in the ring with the
Steiners.
Steiner. So Pete's in now with Ciampa again, and he starts to come back and fucks up Ciampa's shoulder, and I mean like attacking it. He's stomping on it. He's working the fingers, bending it back. It looks pretty painful, and Ciampa's selling it pretty well. Ciampa comes back, though, with these punches and strikes, and then throws Pete on the outside into the commentary desk, just throwing him. And as they're throwing the break, it's Ridge who attacks him and throws him now. It's chaos as they go to commercial. When we come back, we have Breakker in there who's hitting a bunch of like side belly-to-belly slams, belly-to-belly overhead, and then puts Pete Dunne in the Steiner recliner.
Yeah.
Or is it the Breakker recliner? Just call him Rex Steiner. He's literally doing like...
He looks like a Steiner. He's dressed like a Steiner. He's doing Steiner moves.
He should have
He sounds like a Steiner.
He should have the sirens in the music.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Bizarre.
Yeah. Anyways, he's doing the Steiner recliner, and Pete's selling it like he's gonna tap out here. Good for Pete. Look, I believed it. I was like, it doesn't look as like powerful, but I was like, this would be cool. And Pete eventually does get out of it and grabs the fingers. So Pete breaks Breakker's fingers. Breakker's fingers, right? Yeah, something like that. He breaks Breakker's fingers, starts beating him up, does more of the shoulder stomp. That's when he tags in Ridge, who hits the Alabama Slam with Pete kicking him in the head at the same time. Combo, but Ciampa breaks the pin up at 2. This is when Ridge and Braun, the two big lads, are in the ring face to face. They're giving it each other these clotheslines and strikes. There's I think Pete who's going for the baton, the stick,
the truncheon.
Yeah, but Kyle O'Reilly comes out and takes it from Ridge, who he's taken aback by this. He's shocked. There's chaos in the ring, and Pete's trying to get the stick now.
Kyle does smack him.
Yeah, he hits him with it. Well. Yeah, he hits him with it. He goes back in the ring. Pete gets sent out by Ciampa, who takes care of him, leaving Breakker and Ridge. And somehow, some way, Bron Breakker does a military press on Ridge Holland, turns it into that power slam move, and it is over as Bron Breakker pins Ridge Holland. That move is very impressive, but on a guy like Ridge Holland...
The size of Ridge.
Whew,
yeah.
Damn.
I am impressed by Bron Breakker.
Yeah.
I think they've done a really good job with him in these last 2 weeks in showcasing him, and... I actually really enjoyed this match. The stuff between Pete and Ciampa was great, as you'd expect. But the big lads going at it as well was pretty entertaining. There were some really nice suplexes in there from both guys. Like, they were throwing each other around and got pretty stiff as well with some, like a bit of a forearm exchange and the bit where they're both just clubbing each other's chest. Felt like... big lads G1 kind of stuff, like the heavy hitting.
Yeah.
I do definitely think they bought it for this main. It didn't save the show for me.
No.
Because I'm used to seeing more quality matches on NXT. But I will say I think they're doing a good job with Bron Breakker, and I do see big things for him in this company.
When they change his name to Steiner,
yeah,
Rex Steiner, he'll be a huge thing in wrestling.
Yeah.
For sure. They need to change the name. It's such a silly name. I don't understand. He's great. He looks cool.
Yeah.
He sounds like an old school wrestler. Looks like an old school wrestler. I guess he's got a dumb wrestling name, but change it back and he'll be money, man. He needs to do the Bulldog. He needs to do the one guy has him up on the top.
I mean, we've seen before where
His shoes.
give them a different, like Charlotte. They've gone back and forth with distinct. I know it's weird timing talking about this, but distancing her from Rick. Like in NXT, there was a big part where they kind of very much removed that, and then it's like, okay, she's her own person now, so we can put the Flair thing on her.
Right.
You could see this. Maybe it's just trying to get him to be a bit of his own character, but then he's doing all the Steiner stuff anyway, so I don't know.
Just call him Steiner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird. But he does impress, no lie. So I could see him being a WWE star, definitely, for sure. But that was NXT as they celebrate. It's Breakker and Ciampa celebrating as he hands Ciampa the title, but he's like reluctant to do it, and he's looking at it. And then
keeps staring at this
Ciampa's
thing.
like, I'll take that, and holds it up as they celebrate here.
Yeah, and then Ciampa, as he's kind of raising Breakker's hand, he's giving him the glance as well.
Yeah.
Like,
I see what you're doing, kid.
Which one's going to throw the other into the Titantron first?
I don't know. Ciampa.
It's got to be.
After the credits roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's NXT from September 21st, 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, this was definitely the relaunch, the rebrand of NXT that we kind of thought. Like last week, we got a bit of it, but this week definitely it felt very different for me.
It did for me too. I hope they find a balance. I don't mind seeing new people. I think NXT, we've said it, always used to be people would graduate and then you get a new class and stuff, and that's what kept it fresh, and it hasn't done that for a while. So it is cool seeing some new people, but the new people you've got are very green at this point, both on the mic, in their character development, and in ring. You've got to mix it up more. You've got to have more veteran segments to carry the show, and have one or two of these younger guys, these newer guys. It was too much, and it made it a very weak show overall.
It felt very weak. It felt very like the old school mentality of, okay, squash match, get the character over, character vignettes, character this, character that. It didn't feel like it was the old NXT that we knew, trying to have just really good matches and everything. Like, it didn't feel like that.
So much more happened. I mean, look, we've gone. I know we talked for a while at the beginning here, but we've gone longer than we normally do on these shows because there was just so much.
There was so much of it, and it felt like it was 3 hours, and it was 2. This show needs to go back to 1 hour if it's going to continue like this, because I do not see myself watching 2 hours. Can't do it. It broke me, man. If this is the show, like, they need to cut it down, because there's no way. It's a lot of just, okay, next filler thing. People practicing their promos on TV.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're doing the taped format. They're going to be every so often taped, every so often live. What are they going to do for a takeover? That's not a thing. You will not sell me on a takeover. You will tarnish that name of what it was.
Takeover is just going to be there.
It's just going to be...
They're not doing arenas anymore.
I guess not.
It's just going to be here.
It's just going to be these little takeovers with what? Bron Breakker, Ciampa? Like... Yeah. It's not going to be the same at all. So, everything has changed, and all your cool indie guys are in AEW, essentially, and Johnny and Ciampa are here. So, it's totally a different show. I felt this vibe today where I was like, oh, this segment, and then at the end of the show, I was like, man, I felt like I was sitting down for 4 hours, almost, and it was 2. Definitely a step down from what they had been doing from the past few years. I definitely... As both of us who've just done this show, watching this every week, going to takeovers and seeing how big this brand got and how popular it got, to see it regress this way is kind of like, it's a bit of a shame. And
it's sad because, WWE isn't a company that really listens to the fans either. So it would be nice if they're aware of these criticisms, that they can find a bit of a balance with this and make this show work. But it's not off to a good start.
It'll work eventually, because that's what happened with NXT. Like, they found their main WWE stars because these guys got built up, like your Rusevs and stuff that they eventually took. And ruined on the main roster anyways. But like maybe they're changing the direction in how they create these stars, as they say, where you're meant to be in developmental for a year or two and then you move up, because that's what this is.
Yeah.
Like, people don't play on these feeder farm teams in hockey or baseball forever. Well, some do, but eventually they gotta go. They gotta go. Either shit or get off the pot. So having a developmental show that was just the hot indie guys, I guess, wasn't what they wanted to do anymore. Which is unfortunate for us as fans who've kind of stuck by this show for quite a while. But watching this one was the first time in a very long time where I was like, whew, boy, not looking forward to watching this every week. So we still will, because we always say we're your NXT friends. And Dan, we love to try to be positive. And I know, we probably didn't sound too positive on this show, but wow.
It could turn around. Fuck, I enjoyed Raw yesterday. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. That's right.
Wrestling's cyclical,
That's right. But hey, there's different types of wrestling. There's your Raw, your SmackDown. Finn Balor's fighting Roman?
Yeah.
Sounds wild.
The Demon.
Yeah. They said, look, you're in developmental again. You need to move up. We need to stop this. Go do that on the... Oh, he's the Demon, though.
He's the Demon again.
We got AEW. You can watch New Japan, the G1. You can watch Stardom. You can watch all these things.
Yeah.
You can watch all these things. You can also listen to us talk about these things every week. We'll still be doing NXT. We'll still be doing AEW Dynamite. Those are free on this very feed. We'll do a BD Elite live from New York somewhere this week sometime. Listen to Shot in the Dark on this feed as well.
We've also got B. Detroit and John Cena reviewing Heels, their latest episode of Turning Heels, where they're talking about episode 6,
which
is up on this feed already. That drops every Monday.
Am I wrong, or I'm hearing that Heels actually does the Plane Ride from Hell storyline?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which is oddly strange considering this episode just came out.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there's like a character that does some things on a plane.
Interesting.
Yeah, very strange. That the timing. I
mean.
So listen to that. Turning Heels, Cena and B. Detroit covering that show. It's a great companion piece. If you watch the show, then listen to the episodes. That's for free. But of course, you want to hear more? Well, we got a Patreon. All these shows. The retro NXT reviews. We just kicked off the Sami Zayn Cesaro feud in 2013. Yes. So the what's next going forward are going to be fire.
Yeah.
The good era. Bo Dallas era.
Oh, yeah.
Big E's our champ, but Bo's gunning for that title.
He is. There's a battle royal coming up.
That's right.
Anyone could win.
Anyone could.
Anyone named Bo could win that.
Yeah, you got a Bo leave. Yeah, when NXT was good. Yeah. So go check us out, patreon.com/upnext for all the retro NXT movie reviews, all that stuff. We're working on the October schedule, but we're going to have some fun in New York for AEW Dynamite. Check out the socials and stuff if you're going to be in the area to hang out with us. And yeah.
But before we go, let's hear what you thought of this week's NXT.
I was signing off. I figured no one watched it.
We do leave feedback up on the Facebook page, the upNXT group, and the Post Wrestling Forum. So sign up to our socials.
I was ready to go. Group. I was done.
We'll start with Magan, who says, seeing so many newer faces at a time isn't helping. It's like throwing wads of gum to the wall to see what sticks. I find it egregious that Roddy and Kushida didn't get 15 minutes to put on a decent match. I get that it'll take time for this iteration of NXT to find its footing, but I don't want to have to suffer through it.
We go to Corey, who writes in, woo boy, they are throwing in way too many new people at once. Also, Toxic Attraction just cannot cut a promo to save their lives. That promo from them was completely and utterly abysmal. Even the main roster stuff is light years ahead of the Toxic Attraction stuff. He says, battered and beaten, really? And then you had Mandy trying to get the crowd to chant what at them, and it didn't work. What was the point of that? Good Lord, Toxic Attraction is a train wreck.
Oh boy.
Not a fan, Corey.
We go to Dylan, who says, my one gripe with this show is how short most of the matches were. They're trying to get tons of new faces in at once, so I hope this is a temporary measure to get us familiar with as many people as possible at once. Opening promo did a great job mixing the new talent with the ones we already knew. Smart stuff. Cruiserweight title match was good fun, but should have gone longer in my opinion. What could have been takeover quality was instead just a good TV match. Happy for Roddy regardless. Joe Gacy's gimmick seems to be leaning more into his namesake. John Wayne Gacy was a serial killer who was known to the public as a clean-cut man who did tons of charity through civic organizations. I think the darker side of Gacy will emerge soon. Okay, that's kind of cool. Main event was good fun. Super happy Kyle O'Reilly hasn't been relegated down the card. I certainly had those fears. Bron Breakker is a genetic freak, just like his old man and his uncle. Dude's got serious potential. This was a good show tonight, but with the amount of stuff they put out, they needed 2 hours. Hopefully, the frantic pace slows down as we settle into the new era.
Did you notice Bron Breakker on his boots? He's got, like his dad, Bite Me.
Oh, really?
Dog face gremlin stuff. And I see here, is it JV writes in, the parking lot strikes again. Kind of. Someone was attacked in the parking lot.
He deserved it.
It's still true, yeah.
It was
yeah,
rude.
Yeah. Oh, and also Chuck writes in, who says, Gigi is the GOAT.
Ah, right.
Not sure what he means.
Yeah.
But
He's a fan of Gigi Dolan.
yeah, big fan. So that was your thoughts on NXT 2.0 here tonight. Just an epic show that it took place tonight. And I already I was signing off.
Hey, there was a lot to talk about.
There was.
Yeah.
There was a lot to talk about.
We got to go pack.
We got to go pack. We hope you like listening to us talk about NXT and all that stuff. In a world of wrestling that can sometimes upset us as fans, just be kind to another. Yeah, the world's got to change, and we need to be more like Joe Gacy and just be woke.
Be woke, more like Ted.
Be more like Ted Lasso is what we want to say. If you got anything out of this show, we love you. We love all you people. Be nice to people. It's the only way. We're only on this planet for so many rotations. So enjoy it.
Sure.
You
okay?
Life's a garden. Dig it.
Let's get out of here.
I myself, Braden Herrington. You can find me Twitter and Instagram. I am at the Brady.
And you can find me at Davie Portman.
At upNXT Podcast, Twitter, Instagram. Go follow every like, RT, all that shit.
We'll see you in New York.
We'll see you in New York. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And get the fuck out, Steve.
Fuck off, Steve. Ahoy!
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.